Good morning, everyone. This is Dirk Larson, and this is my response to the TED Talk by Ty Tran. The first thing for me that I got from the video, or was my personal response to the video, is I had a former employee with almost the exact background as Ty. He immigrated from Vietnam when he was 8, Ty was 6, and this employee's parents were also street vendors. And contrary to Ty, he had a lot of difficulties assimilating and quite finding his way in the world. And I actually ended up having to be part of the management team that fired him. He was harassing someone. But I still think about him because I feel like he, through, you can't really say no fault of his own, but by not having good mentors, made poor decisions. The example that I'll give compared to Ty is that this employee had the GI Bill that he could use to pay for school, and he went to ITT Tech, whereas Ty went to UC Berkeley. And the degree from ITT Tech still cost about as much as my degree from UW River Falls is going to cost me, but it did nothing for him. And so I've wondered about that a lot. And what Ty talked about is the big step for him was developing a personal brand and how that led him to have mentors. And with that former employee, that's what I always kind of felt like, is that he needed mentors, some people that had already trod the path that he was going to and could give him advice about which way to take. And so Ty said that a big part of his success was personal branding, which led him to mentors. The next thing that I got out of the video was the difference between voice and tone. And I really struggle with this. My wife used to use the term, I'm going to try to do air quotes here, work Dirk, when I would get too serious and dictatorial, and I was acting the way I would at work. And I think that the way that work has become like a 24-hour event with cell phones and email and all that kind of stuff, it's helped me a little bit, but I almost want it the opposite, where I want to take more of my normal personality, the way I feel, confidence isn't the right word, but comfortable with myself, and take it into the school setting, take it into the work setting, and still kind of be the same person, but with a different tone. And I think that I've failed at that, where I act like a completely different person to try to, fit into the role. So that was something from the TED Talk that really struck me, and it's something that I want to work on. The third thing was personal brand is not just perception, it's the intersection of perception and reality. And I thought that was a great quote. That's another thing that I have not been successful with. And the idea of, oh great, I'm going to forget his name now, and I'm not going to look down at my notes. In another class, it was a person who is very influential in social media, and how he talked about, hey, he's got faults, he's got things that aren't perfect about him, but he still puts them out there as part of his personal brand to make it authentic. And I think that that's something that I have to find. And so it looks like I'm running pretty long here. I'm still going to make this point. Ty talked about reaching out to your mentors for advice and not favors. Viewing the relationship as something that's you're going to grow from rather than transactional. I thought that was a very great point. And that leads me to my question. My question is, how do you develop mentors or meet mentors or develop that relationship? I feel very awkward trying to speak to people that are more advanced in academia or in the business world, where it doesn't feel natural. I feel like that's not something you should be doing. And yet they have so many resources that would be helpful to me and to all of you that are in a similar situation. All right. Thank you for listening to me.